Ladies and gentlemen, our opening contest is scheduled for one fall.
I can't wait to see this entire card, and what an action-packed way to kick us off.
Introducing first, making his way to the ring from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 175 pounds, he is the Sky Prince, Anthony Young.
A1 has been arguably the biggest success story in IWC of the year, and I say arguably because so many stars that have come out of the ICWA training school have risen to the occasion and really tried to own this year. But A1, we've seen him in main events, championship matches, all-star matches. A1 may be one to watch.
Absolutely, Joe. Since we've returned from quarantine, Anthony Young has definitely found his place as a part of the IWC roster.
However, the mood and the tone turns when this enigmatic entity steps into the room.
And his opponent,
Angelik has been like that puzzle piece that you're not exactly sure where it fits. You're not sure where it goes, but you know it holds the key to a bigger picture that you may not be aware of yet. Angelik claims to be divine. He claims to be altruistic. He claims to be here to keep people from experiencing some of the pain and the evil and the darkness that he's felt over his career. But I'm not so sure of those motives. They may be a little more selfish. They may be a little more sinister.
Well, you know what, Joe? I mean, Angelik, he's been around for a while. I mean, this new incarceration of the man formerly known as Gory, he's been around for the last few months, and I still just cannot figure him out. Just when I was starting to figure out Gory, well, now here's Angelik, and now it's a whole new set of questions.
Yeah, and you saw that mask that he comes to the ring with, almost a symbolic, almost a symbol of just being a new face, being reborn, being somebody that can change his stripes, change his attitude. And now we've got, the former Gory walking around without the mask. And is he still that same man that he claims? Does he have that same divinity? Or does he want to use A1 as a sacrificial lamb, perhaps on his way back to the Super Indie Championship?
Well, I've said it over and over again these last few months. Just because a name change, a attitude change, if you will, happened with this man, it doesn't take away from his experience. It doesn't take away from his longevity here on this roster, in this company. And I mentioned, as Anthony Young was making his way to the ring, over the last few months, he started to find himself on the IWC roster. That's a spot that Angelik has held for a number of years, Joe.
Yeah, you see, every time he comes out here, the confidence of Anthony Young continues to grow, and he gets a little bit more comfortable out there, gets a little more measured. And now, you see Young able to turn things around. Pace remains quick. Could go anyone's direction at this point, as Angelik able to elevate A1 with the amateur-style takedown. A1 is trying his best to stay a step ahead, gets the arm drag takeover.
But, Joe, you can't deny, if you're Anthony Young, you have to feel that confidence. Over the last few months, he's been, like you said, he's been in main events. He was in that IWC All-Star Tag Team match a few months ago at Washington Wild Things Park. This guy's really coming into his own. You can't help but feel the confidence if I'm Anthony Young.
Oh, without a doubt. The man who's been dubbed the Sky Prince by so many. Looking to keep things going, looking to get the momentum on his side, but it's Angelik now. The veteran instincts are coming in by any name. Certainly nobody, I would suggest, has had more matches in this building than Angelik, dating back to the first time IWC was at the Court Time Sports Center in January 2006.
Well, we said, Joe, there's no substitute for that experience. And Angelik, it seems like he has an answer for everything Anthony Young has dished out so far, and you have to attribute that to the experience of Angelik.
Yeah, and I would suggest this is one of the toughest tests that A1 has encountered thus far, and I stress one of because we've seen him in the ring with Johnny Patch. We've seen him in the ring with Atticus Cogar. We saw him as part of the All-Star Super Indy matchup, which was an 8-man tag and had just so many stars from up and down the IWC roster.
And we notice Anthony Young there, still very early into his career. Maybe he shouldn't have trusted Angelik there, as you saw Angelik had a plan B, but Anthony Young had it well scouted, got out of the ring, got out of dodge, and now he finds himself with momentum as he heads over the top rope perhaps, Joe. No.
Handspring to put the brakes on as he saw Angelik trying to turn things around, and they both end up in a bit of a prayer-type pose. Angelik on the outside, preaching peace. A1 perhaps preaching a bit of finding his center, finding his focus.
Well, I don't agree with that at all, Joe. I think that was just a message to Angelik trying to poke fun or mock the veteran.
Angelik does not like to be mocked. That's for darn sure. But great way to kick things off and a great way to test the mettle of A1, who now soars. Plancha connects.
And you got to think, Joe, if you're Anthony Young, if you're Angelik, you need to step it up for this match. This is the first match inside the Court Time Sports Center since March, since the anniversary of IWC, IWC 19. We haven't been here for so long. These fans are so hungry. Oh, my goodness. Almost right on the head.
And, you know, you were right. These fans are hungry. These fans are just craving IWC action like perhaps no time in the past. And just imagine how these athletes feel. Just imagine how much they've been looking forward to getting back into the building where IWC was put on a pedestal to all new heights. And certainly our fans here tonight are behaving responsibly, social distancing. They've got their masks on. Everybody's having a good time, and everybody's doing it safe. IWC taking the proper state-demanded precautions to make sure everybody has a great time here as part of IWC's Homecoming.
And you know what, Joe? I really feel like this is a tale of two different stories. You know, Angelik, we've mentioned he's been here for such a long time. Whether he's opening the show, closing the show, this man has been in so many high-profile matches in IWC that I truly believe this is just another match for Angelik. Anthony Young, on the other hand, what pressure on this young man. The first match back in over 8 months in this building, and Anthony Young has the distinction of being in that match. The pressure is unbelievable.
Angelik walks up the back and comes through with a drop kick, stacks him up for a count of 2. And certainly you got to believe that the winner of this matchup has to be considered among the top contenders for whomever can escape for the Super Indy Championship later tonight. Brian Pillman Jr. defending against Spencer Slade.
Oh, absolutely, Joe. And what a huge double main event we have tonight, the first of which being for the Super Indy Championship. Brian Pillman Jr., who won that championship back at the prestigious Super Indy tournament. He's defending against Spencer Slade, who, honestly, Joe, Spencer Slade feels like he's deserved this opportunity for a long time. I can't wait till that match later on.
It's A1 trying to fight back to his feet. He has faced the wrath of the Angelik one, who now is grounding the Sky Prince. And you can never tell what's going through the mind of Angelik, who catches A1 from the blind side. And A1 looking to counter. These men are high risk personified, and nowhere to land from here that feels good.
Yeah, this doesn't look good for either man.
Now, it looked like Angelik, he reared his head back, he opened his mouth.
I thought I was going to mention that, Joe. It looked like he was going for the bite that we've seen Gory use so many times. Yeah. But to your point, he held back.
There's a cover, a 2 count only. Was Gory trying to surface? Is there a sort of a mental battle, a bipolarity in the mind of the man we see in the ring right now? Are Gory and Angelik now fighting for dominance? And how will that affect the matchup as it pertains to A1?
Well, Joe, I've been saying this for months. It has to come through at some point. You can take the man out of Dixie, but you can't take Dixie out of the man, as the old saying goes. And no matter what you do, your change of attitude, change of name, whatever you want to call it, Gory still exists in that mind, in that soul, in that body of the man now known as Angelik. You can't erase him.
Gory is still, competing in other organizations around this country. It's something about IWC that brings out this more mysterious and really, unknown side that is Angelik, as A1 hits that Spanish fly. Both men are down, but yeah, I think no matter what the end result is here or what you and I can speculate on, the man in the ring in the gold and white tights, he's got some issues. He's got some problems. There's some things going on inside that skull that we can't comprehend, and I'm not sure that he can comprehend. But that may certainly affect the goals, the ambitions, and certainly how he carries out succeeding in those ambitions when it comes to Angelik, as A1 quickens the pace. Look at a battle back now with a series of clotheslines.
Well, he has some physical problems, too, because on that Spanish fly, Angelik landed almost right on his head. He has to be knocked loopy, as A1 takes the advantage.
A1 could have been trying to knock the Gory out of him. Who knows? Coming through with that uppercut in the corner. Angelik is certainly dazed.
Man, Joey, Anthony Young has been so impressive these last few months. I would say the breakout star here in IWC after the return from quarantine. What do you think?
Well, I think there's a short list.
Can't deny it.
There's a short list of athletes you put on that list, but A1, I think, is the number one drop pick of many. Beautiful K-Brada. Scintillating offense for two.
And, Joe, I couldn't have picked a better word. That was beautiful. Connecting right on the mark, but unfortunately only a 2 count.
A1 got incredible height. That certainly will increase the impact of body on body. He spread out that body weight to get maximum impact as well. A1 was picture perfect in midair.
Maybe going midair again. Heading to the top rope, but the fatigue is starting to set in. You see how slow he is to get to the top rope.
Yeah, well,
both of these men have given it their all here in the opening match here at Homecoming.
We know how much A1 loves to live in the air. He will defy logic, he'll defy physics, he'll defy gravity, but can he defy the will of Angelik?
Up top, Angelik hooking Anthony Young. Anthony Young fighting out of it. What are we going to see here? Who's going to win this fight? It's a battle for leverage on the top rope, Joe.
Oh, and both men receive the brunt of that. Both get dropped right around the throat or the neck area on that top ring rope. Angelik, I'd give the advantage to being in the ring, but A1 has distance, and that creates opportunity. Angelik caught him in a powerbomb.
Unbelievable. Caught Anthony Young, perfectly timed, and now Angelik is going for the kill.
A double underhook and twists him down. That neck breaker connects. Angelik picks up the victory.
Unbelievable, Joe. What an opening match.
Your winner, Angelik.
It was a battle of two very strong wills, but at the end of this contest, Angelik narrowly gets a victory. Now, in the eyes of myself, and certainly you got to believe many people in this crowd as well, we have not seen the end of A1's quest here against Angelik. I feel like these two may meet again.
Absolutely, Joe. Even in defeat, Anthony Young, so impressive. But Angelik, victorious here at Homecoming.
Absolutely, as Angelik is able to send another message. And is it a message of peace? Is it a message of hope? Is it a message of love? Or is it a message of destruction? Only that man may truly know the answer to that question. But A1 with an incredible effort in this contest, and I truly believe that the best is yet to come for this young athlete. Great ovation, and it's certainly efforts like that, even win or lose, that will help earn the respect of an IWC crowd that has, quite frankly, seen a lot in their time.